The 2023 NFL Draft is now in the books, which means it's time to get those report cards in.
Bryce Young, they paid a steep price for him, and it will be worth every last ounce.
Did your team make the right selection in round one? Let's dive into our grades for each of the 2023 NFL first round draft picks. Number 1, Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers, A+. Zero complaints or concerns from us here. We had Young going first overall, and the majority of our mock drafts for a reason. He is the most polished, NFL-ready quarterback who gives this long-struggling Carolina fan base something to be excited about. Number 2, CJ Stroud, Houston Texans, A+. Stroud, like Young, has way too much talent and upside for the Texans to pass up on. This was really a no-brainer for GM Nick Caserio, who landed himself a new franchise QB a year after the Deshaun Watson trade. Number 3, Will Anderson Jr., Houston Texans, A+. Did Houston give up too much to move up from number 12 to number 3? Well, only time will tell. But in terms of the pick itself, we too can't find a reason to complain. Anderson Jr. was the best edge rusher in this draft. He can single-handedly change the dynamic of this defense with his all-world pass rushing and run-stopping abilities. Number 4, Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis Colts, B+. The Florida Gators product is the ultimate boom or bust prospect. But we aren't at all faulting the Colts for taking the risk on him. They needed a franchise quarterback, and there wasn't another non-quarterback prospect available who would have moved the needle for them in the short term. Number 5, Devin Witherspoon, Seattle Seahawks, A. We thought Seattle would go defensive line here, but you can't critique them for taking the best defensive back in this class. Yes, the Hawks already have Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Jamal Adams, and Quandre Diggs in the secondary, but you can't have too many great defensive backs in today's pass-happy NFL. Number 6, Paris Johnson Jr., Arizona Cardinals, B. Cardinals GM Monty Ossenfort did well to stockpile additional picks for a roster loaded with weaknesses by moving out of the number 3 spot. Offensive tackle was one of the main roster holes, of course, although we wouldn't have minded seeing them take a stud corner like Christian Gonzalez. But this selection still addresses an organizational need. Johnson Jr. has the tools to be a long-time franchise building block down in the desert. Number 7, Tyree Wilson, Las Vegas Raiders, B+. Wilson was widely regarded as a top 5 pick, so this was a good value selection for the Raiders. The only reason it's not an A? Well, like Arizona, we would have preferred if they had added a cornerback like Oregon's Gonzalez, especially when you consider the fact that it's been their main roster weakness for more than a decade now. Number 8, Bijan Robinson, Atlanta Falcons, C-. Now, this is not a knock against Robinson the player. It's just, what are the Falcons doing? They needed help everywhere on defense. They could have used another offensive lineman. Why in the world are you using a top 10 pick on a running back? Number 9, Jalen Carter, Philadelphia Eagles, A-. In terms of overall talent and athletic abilities, Carter might be the best player in this class. But of course, there are concerns with his off-the-field issues, as well as the fact that he was out of shape at his pro day. The Eagles decided to take the risk. Carter could be the ultimate difference maker on what is already football's best front seven. Number 10, Darnell Wright, Chicago Bears, B. Wright absolutely fills the Bears' need for an offensive tackle. Wright was a bit of a reach as a top 10 pick. Seeing how the board played out, it just feels like they maybe could have traded down a few spots and just gotten him later. But hey, if Wright solves Chicago's never-ending search for a franchise offensive tackle, then all's well that ends well. Number 11, Peter Skoronski, Tennessee Titans, A+. Love this pick. Skoronski is the best and most decorated offensive lineman in this draft. Somehow, 2 were taken before him, and somehow Skoronski was still on the board when Tennessee made their pick. Hey, take a bow, Ran Carthon. What a way to kick off your first draft as GM. Number 12, Jahmyr Gibbs, Detroit Lions, D. Does anyone know what the Lions were thinking here? Anybody? No? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Now, the question was, are you shocked the Lions selected Jahmyr Gibbs at number 12? 76% with the immediate reaction to the yes.
The Lions have signed David Montgomery in free agency, and they already had DeAndre Swift on their roster. So why in the world are they using a top 12 pick on another running back? Like, why? Who is making these decisions? Number 13, Lucas Van Ness, Green Bay Packers, C+. We do like Van Ness the player a lot, but the Packers already have two excellent veteran linebackers in Devondre Campbell and Preston Smith, plus a promising youngster in 2022 first-rounder Quay Walker. So, where exactly does Van Ness fit on this depth chart, at least for 2023? Also, with Aaron Rodgers gone, why not take a top receiving prospect for Jordan Love? Number 14, Broderick Jones, Pittsburgh Steelers, A+. The OT position was the Steelers' biggest weakness heading into this draft, and they took care of business by moving up and selecting the top remaining tackle in Georgia's Broderick Jones. If Jones comes as advertised, Pittsburgh's line will be much better, which means they just might be ready to contend for Super Bowls again. Number 15, Will McDonald IV, New York Jets, B-. Now, we don't hate the idea of adding another defensive lineman here, but the Jets already have two stud pass rushers in Quinnen Williams and Carl Lawson, plus 2022 first-rounder Jermaine Johnson II. So, McDonald is a luxury pick more than a necessity. But with Aaron Rodgers now in the fold, why not address a leaky offensive line? Even an extra weapon like Michael Mayer or Dalton Kincaid at tight end would have made sense here. Number 16, Emmanuel Forbes, Washington Commanders, C+. Forbes is a fine player, but how much do the Commanders need another corner after finishing 4th against the pass and 7th in scoring? I'm a bit surprised Ron Rivera and company didn't take Will Levis here. Offensive line and linebacker were bigger needs as well. We also wouldn't have hated another pass catcher for Sam Howell. Number 17, Christian Gonzalez, New England Patriots, A+. Way to go, NFL. You just let the best defensive mind of all time pick up a grade A cornerback with future All-Pro written all over him. Gonzalez, Jack Jones, Jonathan Jones, and Kyle Duggar leading the secondary. Look out, NFL. You should not have let Gonzalez slip this far to the Patriots. Number 18, Jack Campbell, Detroit Lions, D-. Did anyone have Campbell going in the first round, let alone inside the top 20?
With the 18th pick, the Detroit Lions select Jack Campbell. He's too big. He's too... What? I don't love it.
I don't like that pick.
No.
Look, we get it. The Lions obviously love Campbell and see something in him the rest of us don't. But who else had Campbell on their board this early? Why not trade down and get him later? Just an awful use of resources by GM Brad Holmes in this first round. Number 19, Kalijah Kancey, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, A. The Bucs have their questions on offense, but you can't fault GM Jason Light for again going D-line here. Vita Vea is one of football's premier interior pass rushers, and now he gets a promising sidekick who totaled 14.5 sacks over his final 2 years of college ball. Number 20, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Seattle Seahawks, A+. The best receiver of the 2023 class fell to the Seahawks at number 20. Once again, GM John Schneider capitalized on excellent draft value. Smith-Njigba joins a stacked offense headlined by 2022 Comeback Player of the Year Geno Smith, star wideouts DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and stud running back Kenneth Walker. This offense is going to be lights out for years to come. Number 21, Quentin Johnston, Los Angeles Chargers, A+. With Keenan Allen seemingly entering his final season as a Charger, it was imperative for GM Tom Telesco to line up a succession plan. Well, hey, mission accomplished. The TCU product should instantly make an impact in a high-powered offense led by Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, and the aforementioned Allen. Number 22, Zay Flowers, Baltimore Ravens, A. Could things have gone better for the Ravens flock last week? They finally reached an agreement on a long-term extension with Lamar Jackson for starters. Then after signing Odell Beckham Jr., they further bolstered the receiving core by snagging the speedy Zay Flowers. The pieces are all there for Baltimore's passing game to really take off in 2023. Number 23, Jordan Addison, Minnesota Vikings, A. The Vikings had a need for a number 2 wideout after cutting Adam Thielen, and Addison should fit the bill perfectly. Justin Jefferson was the NFL's top receiver of 2022 despite facing all that double coverage. Addison's arrival just made Kevin O'Connell's offense a lot more problematic for opposing defensive coordinators. Deontay Banks, New York Giants, B+. We thought the G-Men would go receiver here, but they wound up getting Jalen Hyatt in round 3, so I guess it all works out just fine. As good as New York's D was last season, they were lacking quality shutdown corners. The big-bodied Banks should change that immediately and help take this defense from very good to great in short time. Number 25, Dalton Kincaid. Buffalo Bills, A-. Good move here by the Bills. They needed a number 2 pass catcher to complement superstar wideout Stephon Diggs, and Kincaid could easily step up and fill that role. Diggs, Kincaid, Gabe Davis, and Dawson Knox give Josh Allen no shortage of weaponry. Number 26, Mozzie Smith, Dallas Cowboys, C. This is a pretty big reach for the Cowboys, and we expected them to address the need for another tight end following the departure of Dalton Schultz in free agency. Passing on Michael Mayer was certainly an interesting decision on Jerry Jones' end. Also, Dallas is already loaded on defense, especially on the D-line. Do they really need another defensive tackle? Number 27, Anton Harrison, Jacksonville Jaguars, A. We wanted the Jaguars to go O-line here after losing Jawan Taylor in free agency, and after it was announced that Cam Robinson would be suspended. So, hey, a hat tip right here to GM Trent Baalke. Harrison Robinson and Brandon Scherf are a nice foundation on that O-line. Number 28, Myles Murphy, Cincinnati Bengals, A-. What a great value pick by the Bengals, who surely didn't expect Murphy to be available at this phase of the draft. Murphy will add a scrappy run stopper and an in-your-face pass rusher to an already physical Cincy defense. Number 29, Brian Bresee, New Orleans Saints, A. The Saints needed to find D-line help after losing David Onyemata and Marcus Davenport in free agency. Many thought Bresee would be a top 20 pick, so Nola has to be thrilled with this selection. Bresee and Cameron Jordan should absolutely wreak havoc together in 2023. Number 30, Nolan Smith, Philadelphia Eagles, A+. Smith was supposed to be a top 10 or 15 selection. Why did all these teams let the team with football's best all-around roster add another star defensive player from the national champion Georgia Bulldogs? Absolutely wild. Number 31, Felix Anudike-Uzomah, Kansas City Chiefs, B-. We think KC should have taken a wideout or a defensive back here, but it's hard to complain about Anudike-Uzomah the player. The Kansas State product should be a beast in Steve Spagnuolo's defense, led by Chris Jones and rising star George Karlaftis. But who do you think won the 2023 NFL Draft? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. Hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.